You want to sit on the outside?
No.
Wait. Oh. Hey.
There we go. All right. We're not doing Tpaalha.
We're not?
I don't know. That's what Matej says. We are.
Yeah, we are.
At least I hope we are. It's what I've got open.
One or two?
One.
Okay. Let's finish up with our poll. Just so everybody knows, I'm sick with some non-COVID illness. 2 tests and they're both negative. So, this week we finished. Last week we did the rabbits, and we had a poll for determining the name, or I'm sorry, the class name of the last warrior, which was the was it no it was a 3-star, wasn't it?
Sorry, it was the higher rated one. That's the Tpaalha.
Here, I'll tell you.
Just a second.
No, I've got it. You don't need to.
Well, I have this document
Tier 3
open wherever it is.
So yeah.
Because we needed a word.
Tier 3 warrior. So
where'd it go? Oh, I apparently didn't mark it. Okay, go on.
And so if you can go back to the poll.
Mm-hmm. I sure can. I can't click on anything I want. Nothing is working. Hand-eye coordination.
Okay, so we came up with some suggestions for what to call the Tier 3 warrior. So the Tier 1 warrior, which is the weakest warrior, the name for what this warrior is, it's not a warrior, it is a lenzi, which is a little stick. So in other words, little stick is the smallest warrior. Now the next one up was the one that didn't have a name yet, and so we had some ideas. First one was, if lenzi, little stick, was a small warrior, then solen, big stick, could have been the big one. That was one option. Mm-hmm. Another option was memanu, which translates to like pusher, or somebody that shoves, kind of like a bruiser. Another one was imavu, which would be masher. So that's somebody that crushes stuff up. And then the last option was Dark Horse, who was a frequent viewer and patron for many years, and was during this season, would often come up with these fantastic mythological ideas for the various animals. And one of them was this kind of beast called the Great Tooth Eater for the rabbits. The beast was so terrible that it would actually eat teeth.
Well, do you remember the origin of that?
Go for it. I don't.
It's because when we started the language and we had started working on grammar, and we were ready to actually put a sentence together to show how the ergative absolutive, arguments were going to work.
Yeah.
Some of the only nouns that we had were rabbit and tooth. We didn't have a whole lot of nouns actually created yet, no meanings. And so we ended up writing a sentence like the rabbit ate the tooth. And so then Dark Horse took that and ran with it to say, like, because it was, a lot of people were joking, it's like David's giving a fish a flower or whatever, right? Yeah, where it's just like this kind of nonsensical sentence, but it's like, but hey, we have the words and we're really showcasing argument structure, not necessarily talking semantics yet. And so anyway, that's where the Great Tooth Eater started.
By the way, Magpie has a wonderful pun that only works if you read it. It fails if you read it out loud. I'll go ahead and just say it out loud so that you can imagine it in your mind. But Magpie says, a mustache is what happens when your must hurts, because the ACE looks like ache. Anyway, Wonderful. In terms of the results of the poll, it was pretty much a clean sweep. Everybody went with Dark Horse, and so the Tier 3 Warrior is now going to be a Kalbiniki. And
here we go. Okay,
I'm
so
actually going to write it into the document.
And I'm writing it into this one.
Yes.
That's where the stress was, right?
Yes, and it's 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoops.
Oh.
Ah.
So right now, in terms of symptoms, just so people are not confused as to what's happening, I have a little bit of frogginess, and every so often there's a cough, but and like whatever nasal stuff I had, I'm kind of past it. So this is just the tail end of it. But I have these very sharp shooting pains that happen a little bit in my lower jaw, but mostly on the top of my head right here, that happen at random times. They seem to happen more when I'm talking, and it's really painful for like a half a second. So if you see me wincing, that's what's happening. It's very unpleasant. Anyway, so that is that, yeah.
And then I'm ready to do some just groundwork when you're ready.
Okay. I wanted to show though something else.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't enough time to tell you to prep it during the stream, so I think that you're gonna have to black out the screen.
What am I gonna pull up so I know?
Oh, I'll do it.
Oh, okay. Do I just turn?
Not the lock, the eye.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll just. We're gonna do a new Finder window, and that was why I didn't want. There we go, and LangTime and Tpaalha and.
I believe opening some cards, the new ones.
Where is it? So, just a moment. Oh, they're not in there yet. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Don't worry, I'll fix that. They're going to magically appear where they ought. There we go.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so then if you just, it'll appear there. It shouldn't take that long.
Sometimes it helps to move. There it goes. Okay.
All right, now highlight them all and open them all. Just open.
Okay.
And then hopefully it did all 5 in one window. Perfect.
Yes. Okay. Now just a second. I'm gonna get out of this and come down here and unblack.
No.
Okay.
All right. There we go. So
that's gonna go beyond their scope of seeing.
that is going to do that. What, like right there? Is that?
Yeah, that's usually where I try to keep it.
And then I'll
that'll be good.
All right.
Perfect.
So I have, with the help of dear Jessie, whom I'm a big fan of, created flags and insignia for the animals. And we start with the cats. So, here we go. So, as I think I mentioned, each of the animals is going to have they have kind of like a basic color, but then they also have a broader color scheme. So the cats are blue, dogs are red, mice are yellow, possums are purple, and rabbits are green. But then they also kind of have a color scheme. So the cats get like kind of like blue, white, gray, black, and then it kind of fit in here. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a big vexillology fan. So now there's an explanation here because as I came up with the magic classes, and I think I posted something about this, we realized that the ones who were going to, so the ones that would be most adept at magic would be the cats, but the ones that would actually describe it and treat it scientifically would be the mice. And the mice came up with a hexagon to describe the way that magic works in this game, because essentially it's kind of like it goes from the full presence of light, and then it kind of goes through the elements to the absence of light, and then goes back. So it kind of goes like from light to plasma to gas to liquid to solid to dark to light. And so it makes a little hexagon. Now the cats have their own insignia for this, or they have their own way of understanding it, where instead of a hexagon, it actually goes from the top light to the bottom dark, and it kind of like goes through each one of these little things. And so they came up with this symbol to describe it, and so the whole thing is on the left and on the right. Anyway, and so the cats have their own symbol, and this is it. By the way, at the bottom, the 6 little points represent the 6 elements of magic, and then the middle one is, of course, them, the cats. All right. Next, this is the dogs. And so the dogs, this took a little bit of research, but we figured out that there should be 8 dog clans. And, oh shoot, I left my thing over there.
Do you want me to go get it, or do you just want to kind of busk?
No. I'm going to go get it. I'll be right back.
So this is David's dog flag, in case you're just now tuning in. And I will say one thing I like about it that I don't know that we specifically talked about it is each of the little white shapes looks like an abstract dog.
Oh yeah, that
the
was
ears and the nose. And
sorry.
So,
and this was intended to represent one of each of these is each of the dog clans, and it's a kind of stylized representation of a dog head, and they're all pointing towards the center because they are meeting together in a circle. So the 8 dog clans we settled on were herding dogs, hunting dogs, gun dogs, and if you look those up, those are a real thing. And these, the idea is that, of course, obviously that's not relevant anymore in this world. It's not like there are people that go around shooting with guns and then the dog goes out to fetch it. The idea is that history would have caused those dogs to kind of go together. Hounds, terriers, mastiffs, huskies, and toy dogs. So those are the 8 dog clans. And then there is the mysterious 9th dog clan that broke away, the wild dogs. And when we eventually get to the foxes, we will see what happened to them. All right, so that's the dogs. Next, the mice. I am really happy with this one. And this was partly Jessie's design. Jessie came up with the hammer and the little nail, both its design and what it was doing. The cogwheel is mine. You would have seen it before, but it's like basically without the cogwheel, there was a lot of empty space there, and we're like, something's got to go in there. And Jessie thought, well, what about the wheel, because that's something else they do. So these are, you can see there's the physical industry, the mechanical industry of the mice, and it's enclosed in the hexagon for magic. And it's also a really, like, a hexagon is a really it's a really poor flag shape, and I just thought that made a lot of sense for the mice to have just a really, like
how are you going to work with this now?
A flag designed by committee that now it's like, it can be a standard, but even then it's just not the best standard. A hexagon is not the best standard shape. Anyway, and so, and of course, by the way, the mice, it's like their kind of colors are yellow and black. All right, next. Okay, this one I'm really happy with.
You should be.
So these are the opossums. The opossums' basic colors are purple and black really evenly, and then also kind of like a red. And what this design is you're seeing, Jessie didn't see it at first, but it completely 100% came from her idea. Hey, Yoni. Well, it's so nice to see you. All right. So Jessie was like, well, what if there were two possums kind of arranged in a yin yang symbol. One, because they burrow underground, so one for the underground element and one reaching towards the stars. And basically, I just did that. So each one of these is an opossum. This is the opossum head. That's its fat little belly, and that's the opossum tail.
Oh, let me trace where
Oh,
he was.
right, of
So
course.
here's the tail comes here. Here's the body,
Yep.
and then here's the head, and then of course reverse. We've got the tail, body, and head.
Yep. And so then there was some space in the middle, and so it was like, well, let's put a star in there. And then, of course, it's a 6-pointed star, which is derived from the mouse hexagon. So if you remove the outside of the hexagon part and you turn the cross lines into a star, then that's what it becomes. And then, I thought that the red stripe on the outside was pretty sharp. It can represent something. Okay.
It's very nice.
And then finally, this one's the simplest. But of course, the rabbits are also the simplest. They have just kind of a standard, basic green field that looks like this. It probably won't be as sharp the lines won't be as sharp when it's used in the real world. And they just have the symbol on it. I don't know if you remember this, but that is the letter for, or the image that comes from is a paw,
Pata.
a rabbit paw, pata. And so that is essentially, they have the rabbit paw on the flag, and that is it. And of course, it's just kind of funny that the rabbit, like the rabbit kingdom or commune or commonwealth or whatever. No, not a commonwealth. No, wait, yes, commonwealth.
Kingdom is what we have been calling it.
Kingdom,
I don't know
but whatever it is called Tananguera. And it just so happens to look like the thing in the middle is a T. I thought that was very sclewy, and since we came up with the term sclew during our rabbit language, it just seemed quite appropriate.
I like Bubba says the rabbits procrastinated on Flag Day, and I do feel like this energy of like, all right, everyone, you got to get your flags in by the end of the week. And so, of course, the mice have all their committees going, and the cats are like on it. Dogs come to me. Everybody's doing stuff. Rabbits are like, we'll get there. Yeah. We've got Nulitis.
And of course.
And so then they do Nulitis, and they're like, well, crap, what do we do now? And they're like, paw print, baby.
And the mouse flag won with a resounding 1.3% of the vote, which was just head and shoulders above the second and third through 148th candidates.
Obviously.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. Those are the rabbit symbols. I'm already putting them onto the cards and things like that. The rabbit symbols, the animal symbols. And yeah, so it's helping to kind of round things out. So now let us jump.
Ready to close this?
Yep, you can close it. Let us jump right into Tpaalha.
All right, so I've got the document.
Dear Tpaalha.
I've got, obviously, as you can see, I've got Lexergy open and applied for Tpaalha. Mm-hmm. And then I also have the other sheet. Let me put that out to the side so I don't lose it again. Mm-hmm. I've got the other sheet going, and this one is important because this is the specific vocabulary list.
Yeah. Some
of which we already have in the language, but a lot of which we don't. And what I wanted to do first before we really got into it was figure out what names we need, including the star ratings.
Sure. Okay.
So that way we can just get that in there. And then another thing that we need to start thinking about, everyone, is one of the very first words we need to come up with is what is the Possum Kingdom name?
That's right.
So we do need that along with the names we're going to be creating.
Yeah.
So we have one bard that's a possum. What star rating is it?
1. By the way, as your homework, I assume that everybody did this. You went out and listened to the song by the Toadies called Possum Kingdom. Because that, of course, was what was going to set the tone for this week. And I'll just, by the way, when we're talking about kingdom names, I'm just saying let's try to not have it start with a T because we already have Tananguera. Okay, so what's
Soldier,
next?
We have 2 of them. So what are their ratings?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay. this, and then okay, we have 2 rogues. What are the ratings of the 2 rogues?
I know one of them is 5. And 1 and 5. By the way, just for those who aren't on the Discord or aren't paying attention on the Discord, little change I made to the game was giving each animal a unique animal ability. And let me tell you, it makes a lot of sense that the 5-star rogue is an opossum. First, they're naturally sneaky. They have an ability. They can lay traps. They have an ability where if they don't attack on their previous turn, they're untargetable until their next turn. And now all opossums have an ability where if they take any amount of damage, they play dead and become untargetable until their next turn. And
Nice.
yeah, so it's very nice. All right.
Tink, what rating?
Pretty sure it's 3.
Okay. All right, so we know that we need those words, and then we also see there are some like the warrior and the archer where they don't have any, so we can just not worry about those right now.
Did you get all the other ones?
What's that?
Did you get all the other ones?
Yeah, we've got all the ratings that we have in here so far.
No caster, necromancer things.
No, because that wasn't part of the original card list. This is from the original game cards that we had.
Oh, right.
And I was coming up with those.
No,
but this is a lot of names to worry about in one day, including the fact that we need to start with a kingdom name.
Yeah, and we also don't like this language. I think probably is our worst in terms of us knowing how to use it.
In terms of us knowing how to use it, and like, it's so funny to me because this, I think, overwhelmingly tends to be a patron favorite in terms of language. In terms of languages, rather, that we've made. And I will just say, in terms of the languages we've made, it's my number 5 that we made in LangTime.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I would put the reindeer and penguin languages above it. And so anyway, we're gonna need a lot of help to get through today, I think. And again, in part because we just absolutely don't remember. I do remember we had a lot of like these things built in that we never actually ended up using. It was a whole thing. I'm gonna look though for the vocab list. Luxembourg to remember. Let's not forget that.
Let's start with this for those who are watching. Let's start some brainstorming. In English, what do you think are some good meanings for the kind of like land of the opossums? And I suppose we should have actually staked it out on the map. We didn't do that, but you know.
We did not.
And can you move that document over so I can read all of chat? There we go. All right.
And also, apparently we didn't have the actual vocab list copied over. But, I mean, some of the words got created anyway for Luxembourg.
Valley. Of course, we can't know if we can call it like the valley or something
if we don't know where they live.
What sort of organizational structure is there? I mean, that's a very, very good question, isn't it? The moonlit land. So, opossums. The opossums, their whole point is that they wish to get to this this material because they think that it is the key to immortality and reclaiming those who have been lost. They very much revere their ancestors, and they more than any others look to the stars and believe that the stars have some sort of power in them, and perhaps that's where magic comes from. And so yeah, Bubba, you're right. terms of the organizational structure, like in terms of like what type of government they have, do I have a note on that? Let me see.
I don't know, but we already have a word for trap, and David, I just want you to enjoy.
Tndutni. I'm sorry, tndutni. 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 Yeah. Tndutni. Makes sense. Perfect.
Okay. The other thing I'm gonna have to remind myself while you're looking up notes, I just need to
Where
take.
the stars walked.
Oh.
That's really cool. I don't know if it can come out to be something that's like really short in Tpaalha, given the structure.
Oh, something moonlit land.
We're talking about a place, Bubba. I don't see Elder Guided as describing a place.
Okay.
I should probably open it on my screen so I can review the camera more easily.
Okay. Topographical. That's the word I was thinking of.
Hey, Karis.
Hey, Karis. All right, so I'm just kind of typing out some examples. Oh, okay, I'm gonna type that. So, Bubba suggested something like earth pouch.
Oh, the pouch of the earth. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I really like that. I really like that. I'm trying to take a look to see what we did for relative clauses, and I think we've deleted the section.
We deleted it?
Yeah, it does not occur. Wait, no, never mind. It was just in a different place.
We're gonna have some fun here.
Participial phrases are allowed to modify nouns in a way that closely approximates the function of relative clauses. So the possum child. This is saw. Oh,
and
yeah.
then Muti is rabbit.
Rabbit. Iskanyi. So okay, the child of the rabbit's biting.
Okay.
So it's let's see, this may have come up at some point before, but is the magic in this world actual magic, or is it more of a Clarkian, sufficiently advanced technology sort of thing? Yeah, it's actual magic, but also Biblaridian. That's a there are certain things where we want people to look under the hood. There are others where we just say, that's one of those places. And specifically, they're going to be the only descriptions that you're ever going to get are those that come from the opossums or from the animals themselves. So it'd always be imperfect. We could actually have something that was the place of the elders walking. It'd be pretty long. But let's take a look at what words we have for earth or land or whatever. We don't have anything for earth. We don't have anything for land.
We have to have star, though.
Yeah, we have star. Fosh, remember?
That's right.
That's a good one. But, like, really, we don't have anything. Like
we have pouch.
Yeah.
So if we go with earth pouch or pouch of the earth,
Yeah, but we don't have earth.
well, we would figure that out.
Okay,
We're gonna have to
Xor.
create something.
Yeah. So let's figure out if we did earth pouch. Let's figure out how it would be ordered. Well, we have. Oh, here we go. For friend, it's pouch followed by mus. Pouch mus. Oh.
A new holiday. Sibling.
So pouch sibling. So that means it would be earth pouch. So pouch would be the second word.
Okay.
And so earth would be the first one. I'm going to go ahead and get this ready on Lexergy.
Then okay, we don't have block.
Well, our knight, Petrichor, that doesn't necessarily make. Oh, I see. Oh, because they were born there. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's do both and see what comes of it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in Star Pouch and see what happens, and then
Which might end up just being something like this, but I'm gonna wait for final confirmation.
it. Farksor.
So short vowel.
Farksor.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And so I guess basically it's, do we think we can come up with something better to come in front of Xer that we like more than Farxer?
Sorry, it's also.
Possessive is spelled wrong.
Oh, right there.
Thank you.
All right. So those are just the pronoun forms. And so if we did want to do something with possessive, we could potentially have ni or a worked in.
Oh, as opposed to a compound?
Right. Like I just wanted to leave that open as a possibility if, sound changes ended up not being what we wanted.
So,
where like we get like
it would be Xer blank ni.
right. So like xor fachni. But I mean the compound strategy is gonna go faster.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we should just make this decision. Do we like Farxer, or do we want to come up with something else?
Just part of me is just like thinking through how people are gonna read this whenever they.
Farxer.
It's just gonna be good old Farxer.
In a non-rhotic accent, it sounds a bit too kind. Fox, but oh, it's not Jake. Oh, I didn't intend that.
Yeah, that's Jake.
I'll fix it. Ow.
I think that
Anyway,
is a potential depending on different dialects and pronunciations.
I don't know. Does it sound like to meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why like the other strategy Xor Fahni, like I would actually like something like that better even if it got condensed from there. Because that's how it would go, right? Because this is the tooth possum of the possum. So this would be the
does it need
pouch
to be in a
of the
case?
star. I'm gonna say no, because don't we only have partitive and partitive?
Jake, is the CopyCon channel not available to everybody?
Yeah, because if it were partitive, it would have the guzi, and we don't have that here, so there's no case marking on
Okay.
it. And so is used for alienable. So we want inalienable, right? Me. Okay. Although star, if we wanted to make star in the plural, that is that the plural? God, I don't remember what our forms are.
Go up to the blue chart.
Plural is just the Z form. Okay, yeah. So zu falsch.
Zu falsch.
Okay. I think we could come up with a better phonological unit.
Fixed.
For something that could end up being like an earth pouch.
Okay.
I also like the idea a little bit better because I feel like that sort of beyond the scope of like where the stars were born and where they started, like I feel like that would end up being like a super mythological place for them, sort of like a Garden of Eden or something, where maybe they aspire to have their home location assemble the star pouch as much as possible, but it's more of an idea, a way of life than it is where they live. Whereas, thinking about it in the terms of like we live in, the pouch of the earth or the earth pouch, I think is really, really lovely. That's what they're making their home. The earth is taking care of them where they are.
All right. I like that.
And then we can come up with something that sounds good with xor as the final syllable. And we can kind of work around that phonetically. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Jake is saying we could get something with, like, related to Tpaalha. We could get Fafia of the star. I think that was with alienable possession. With the
Yeah, I was thinking Arnite, Petrichor, Knanksor. It's a bit.
Oh my god.
We could do it. It's certainly a bit of a mouthful, but it would certainly be on brand, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look at their word for trap. This is just going to potentially be on a card somewhere. So no, Knanksor is like, that's way easier to say.
All right, and so here's our possibilities. We can create another Kanan word. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think the 4 Kanans that we have so far are nose, the number 1000, truth, and mystery.
Which is that 4th Kanan.
Yeah, that is the 4th Kanan.
We had, I swear, a section up here where we had actually listed routes to get Kanan. Here we go. And we've used these 4 in orange. We have not used this one.
I will also say that in a compound, the long vowel is going to shorten.
Which would actually look better, I think.
No. You either accept the Kanan or you don't.
It will be funny though, like people having arguments over, no, it's just Knanksor. The KN issue of English.
Here was my point though. So again, yeah, the lengthening happens only when it's the a coda at the end of a word. Mm-hmm. And so that's why it's Kanan with a long A. Anytime that you compound any of these forms with Ksur, it shortens. And so, because of that, we could actually create a non-Kanan word that's just the short version of it. Or can you? No, because you could never. Wait, I think I know what I mean. Hold on.
I'm so excited to find out exactly what David means.
Yeah, for example, if you throw a vowel at the end of it, like say that the protoform was K-N-A-N, schwa, it'd be Knan, short.
Oh, so it would never be Knan.
Right.
What would happen in the compound with that schwa in there?
Nothing.
It would still disappear.
Yeah, so it would still come out the same way as if it were a real Kanan. I really like this because I think that the etymology would be quite obvious, earth pouch, but since a longer Kanan would shorten anyway, there's plenty that could say it means the pouch of truth or the pouch of mystery or the 1,000 pouches.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
A little folk etymology there. I love it. I love it. And that reserves the 5th Kanan, the real Kanan, for something else. And so I really, really like that.
All right. I say, let's do it.
All right.
I want to see what my options are for vowels. So schwa disappears. It disappears, but it leaves a nya behind it.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No. What happens when it's compounded? Yeah, it does. Oh my goodness. In the compound, everything just becomes palatalized. Knanksor.
No.
So
what about the epsilon? Knanye.
I think that's gonna.
It's also gonna palatalize, isn't it?
It becomes Kanani.
Okay, and then we have so the I, the schwa, the the E.
The A stays.
Okay. Oh, that turns into an U.
That turns into an oo, but it comes out as Knan up there.
Knana.
Okay, so
Okay.
I think that, and I think this one's gonna stay. Knanksor Rex, yeah, that stays. All right, so we have wait. Yeah, we have two options. Okay.
I'm actually going to put these. So we have the Knana.
And Knana. And then I need to get into our thing because I want to create a poll.
Oh, yeah. And the cool thing is that no matter what you had said, both of these still come out as, I forget what is the protoform of Knanksor.
It's a Ksara.
Oh.
So like schwa or schwa.
Whoops.
I'm hoping that R is. Yeah. Okay.
But one of the reasons I use this one, the schwa drops out no matter what. But this is kind of cool because that could mean that the modern word for earth is knanu, or knanu. Sorry, it's still not rounded. Which would be kind of cool because that would really lend itself to those folk etymologies that David was suggesting, where it's like it could mean, you know, the pouch of truth or the thousand pouches, when like literally the actual historical origin was just land pouch. And so like that makes it kind of cool because it hides its etymology even more. But you know, that will be up to you to decide. Oh, hey Danielle. I hope your drive is eventless. At the coast, that's always a good destination.
It was really nice meeting so many people at GoPyCon. And
It
one
really
of those
was.
people was Danielle. It's nice to meet you.
Do you remember when Danielle did the dandelion pun thing in the joke level of the museum?
Oh yeah.
Good times. Good times. Oh my god. Just look at these words. No one's going to pronounce any of these words right, ever. So does it matter if the KN is not? Oh my goodness. And once again, thank you to Graham, who makes Lexergy possible. Because, oh my god, could you imagine doing these languages, David, without the aid of Lexergy right now? Especially going back into them. Like, it's hard enough to remember what the grammar was. Remembering the 38 sound changes that left us with words like that was a real word. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, Alice. Okay, well, first of all, that sounds horrifying. I'm glad you're still alive. Holy cow. Second of all, I love that you specified not a tire and tire with a Y, because one of my crossword puzzle clues this morning was like, a car has 4 of these in England, and the answer was tire with a Y.
Yeah, you bet.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
All right, there we go.
Like, holy crap, Alice. Your story just keeps getting worse. Seriously, glad you're still with us. Goodness gracious. Oh yeah. Okay, so now our word is going to be Knana. I love it.
All right.
I really do.
Okay, I'm gonna get that going.
I'll pull that up to have your progress up here, and then I'm gonna go enter on the English side, land and earth, and it's just gonna be spelled in romanization, Knanu.
Yes.
Knana.
Yes.
Perfect. So land and earth coming on the English side. Doggone it, Pages keeps doing this to me. I don't understand. I'm also a little concerned. I have this like update symbol on my system settings.
Yeah.
So after the stream, I will attempt to do that to my computer. But you know, it doesn't always go well these days. Our word for lake. Tfrin. Tfrin.
Tfun.
Tfrin.
Yeah. Tfun. It's not too bad.
Oh, goodness. Arias. Kanana. Word for banana. All right, so we've got that, and then now we're going to have Knanksor. And obviously that's better than Xor Knananyi. So Knanksor. Oh my gosh, babe, you're going to be able to update.
Yeah. And we don't use, I was checking, we don't use accent marks on this for stress.
No, because I think it is technically predictable.
Yeah.
Look at our word for Northern Lights.
Skiltempana. Skiltempana. I can tell it's got the word for stick in it.
My gosh. That is something. Okay, I was going to come back up here, though, and look at our section on stress. Okay, so we do mark with an accent sometimes, babe, but like that only comes up if the word ends in a vowel and if there's final stress, because otherwise,
Right.
like if it ends in a consonant, it receives ultimate stress.
Yeah.
If it ends in a vowel, you expect penultimate stress, but some words end up having stress on that vowel anyway, and so those are marked. Okay.
This will be spelled. So, interesting thing is that I believe the O will be, there will be an orthographic O in the writing system. And so orthographically, it's going to seem like that O is just there as a reminder of the etymology. But perhaps there can be those that spell it like that, you know?
Yeah.
So it can be those, it can be a GIF thing. I'll go by and ask you to spell the name of Knanksor. Those who know will know.
And it's really OKSR? Like there's no, yeah, 'cause there's no schwas, is there?
Yes.
Are there? Got my little verb backwards there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hello, Tethys. I think Alice would give us a thropy for all of our work. Alice says, I'm telling a story about a typo that was made on a trophy for the debate team. The North Island Amateur Debating Thropy.
Yeah.
Instead of trophy.
I like that. All right. So
man.
there is that. I'm going to update the number for K. Going to have a lot of fun updating some spreadsheets.
Woo!
But
we can celebrate with a Kopiko before we start thinking names. My, oh my. We have Knanksor. 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 Sor. It's not rounded. Knanksor. Ksur. Tethys, look at this. We have a name for our Possum Kingdom. Nice. Oh, John. Probably not. No. All right. We have a word for trap. I was trying to see if we had any other.
Ooh. And man, if one of your debaters had been named Anne after she won the Thropy, you could have called her Miss Anne Thropy. Bunny bread, that's what I said.
There's a drag queen in St. Louis who's Miss Anne Thropic.
Mm. 6, 7, 10. Things is getting filled in.
All right, we do not have any other words, I think. No, apparently we did not think our possums were going to be singing. We have no word for sing or song. We're going to need to think about how they would talk about tanks. I feel like their tank is something they just took from the mice, and they're like, we're going to use this thing, and like, here are these possums not really knowing how to use it yet. They're a 3-star tank because they stole the best tank that the mice had, and they can't figure out how to use it in all of its capabilities.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's kind of accidentally a 3-star.
I agree with that. It could have also been done in trade.
But still, like some sort of way of acquiring it without actually knowing what in the world they're dealing with. Like, this is my envisionment. Do you want Kopiko or do you want a Coffee Werther's or one of each?
For right now, I'll just do Kopiko.
Okay.
Por tradición. But yeah, I'm imagining that like the mice sent over,
making sure these
a 30-volume manual.
Yeah.
And then each one of which is like 2,000 pages long, and then they sent over a 1,000-page how to use the manual.
I love it. Yeah. I was going to try to find a new place on my desk to keep these, but there's really not a convenient place to keep a giant jar of candy that's not close to the window, because once you get over here, it's my workspace. So,
I mean, I can see spaces, but I'll keep them hidden.
Eat your Kopiko. All right.
Kopiko. The candy is so fine, they have a picture of it on the wrapper. I'm going to show you something. So this right here, this is a Kopiko. This is the back of the Kopiko with a picture of a Kopiko.
It really is. It's a picture of the wrapper of the Kopiko.
They know Pico.
And then on the front, there's the actual candy. I'll just start a little trash pile. We'll take care of that later.
All right. Okay. Now. Okay. So there is an opossum bard. Is that right?
Yes, one.
Oh, that's right. The level 1 one.
In other words, it's like a possum who thinks he can sing, and he's just over there.
Precisely.
And it's like, man, what you doing? The level 1 bard should have to like roll a dice to see how successful the song is. Or like if you have to at random draw the next card, and that is what they're actually singing, even though they totally wanted to sing this other thing. Oh my gosh, so many things you could do to make this more complicated and just funnier. Okay. No, right now the tank is the only vehicle that is part of the game. I'm sure in their daily life, the mice have other vehicles.
Yeah.
But again, it's really coming from the mice that did all the tech like things. And I saw a question up above. An archer can compete with a tank because even though they're archers, their arrows can get stuck in the mechanics of the tank and make it not operate. So it's like you can still shoot the tank as long as you're a really good archer and you can hit it in a way that's actually going to take some value away from it.
Obviously, if anybody's going to ride motorcycles, it's going to be the mice. They will have their little helmet, their little goggles, and their little scarf, their little jacket, their little gloves.
Now later, cats are going to buy the motorcycle contraptions from mice because they too want to travel. But when they do, they have to have 2 motorcycles per cat because the mouse motorcycles were so small. And so they bend their little back legs so that way they're kneeling, one knee on each seat. And then they're like got, one hand on the handlebars of each motorcycle.
Goodness.
Vroom, vroom. It becomes dangerous. So, all right. And the mice do have their little walnut zip line. That's right. All right. So I feel like Bard is the easiest thing to tackle just because if we can get something for her to sing, I think we have a strategy for making verbs into nouns, but before I think this is the easier one.
Let's go to purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just need a root for her to sing, and then suddenly we'll have a singer. And we don't need a special word for Bard because it's not very good. And there's only one of them. Oh my.
I don't like how my new computer makes sound a lot of times sometimes. I think maybe I was permanently on the moon. Remember the moon?
Right, no, you need to turn off the sounds. If you turn on moon, it won't even tell you you have a new message. And I know you used to get warned. And if you turn it on the moon on your computer, it won't show up on your phone either. All right, so we're going to have something in the middle of ni. There we go. So now we need a word for it to sing.
Yes.
Are you feeling any singy vibes? I need to remind myself, because I feel like pretty much all protoforms are allowed. We had a note somewhere. Here we go. CCVC. Sticking with the strict sonority hierarchy, which we did not define for those double C's.
The strict sonority hierarchy is least sonorous to most, so voiceless stops, and then, well, if you want to do it voiceless stops, then voice stops.
But I don't think we allowed like PB as a cluster.
No.
So I think it was stop, fricative nasal approximate, right?
Yeah.
Regardless. That's CCVC for protoform syllables. We do have 2 syllable protoforms in this language, and so that's not necessarily a concern. And not even necessarily a concern with the fact that we're putting a prefix and a suffix on the root, because a lot of those unstressed vowels are just going to disappear anyway. So it's absolutely fine to have bigger protoforms in this language. Okay. What sounds singy to you? I feel like a lot of ahs.
That's certainly singy. What is a possum singy?
Eh.
Meh.
You gotta get the
Bulmecha. Bulmechnia. Oh my gosh, what would happen if we did that?
shit.
Can we see what the protoform is for that agentive? we have some created, so we can just
go to the PL section. Healer, flak is the prefix, and nef is the suffix.
oh. So it probably is just PL. Okay, never mind. Okay, so mech would become modern. Ooh, mich. Mich.
Mm.
And mech. And then ni. Or nef. That's what I should do. Oh my goodness. Where did the vowel go?
Vowels disappear in this language. Absolutely disappear.
This became bull brunch brunchnish. Brunchni? Where's the stress? Just out of curiosity.
The final.
It is?
Oh wait, sorry. I was putting this up here so people could see what you went. Oh my gosh. There we go.
Brunchnish.
But yeah, because there's a
Brunchnish.
that should be right. Let me double check. We've got healer. No, it just ends in ni. I don't think the H stays, and I don't think it ends up affecting stress.
All right. Well, that might change things. Yeah, it does. Go ahead and yeah, go back to Lexergy.
I will in 1 second. I was seeing if there was any other example down here, but I don't see one. Whoops, wrong.
I don't think maybe we were going with strict Lexergy for this. Just delete that because this forces it to be not a ni, it's just a ni. So
Polnichny.
yeah, polmichni, which is actually really good, but go back and just get that protoform and see what it comes out as, not that.
Well, I'm gonna take out the things.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing. David doesn't trust me. All right, and I don't think we had hyphens yet, but I'm gonna check just in case to see if hyphenating makes a difference. Oh, well, putting the word boundaries in makes a difference, but the hyphens don't. This is the result with just all pushed together.
It puts the stress in the wrong place. And yeah, get rid of the F's.
You said you wanted to see what the protoform.
Yeah, get rid of the F. Yeah, there's something wrong here. There's definitely something wrong. Here's the thing. Either the stress should be on the last syllable, or it should be, oh, I know why. It's because that was originally a postposition that just glommed on at the very end.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted to see.
So it shouldn't even be in the proto. Polmichny. Yeah. Huh. Well, this leads to an ordering. Okay. If trying to create that, so I was starting with this protoform mech. I want to show you if you can go to Lexergy. Go ahead and put just pulmech below that and play it. See, when it comes at the end of the word, it becomes an H. If it has a consonant after it, it stays a ch. And so it's actually really important whether the sound change happens before that postposition becomes. And I think it makes sense. That
this should give us some indication, right? Because
you're absolutely right.
Isn't that a word final thing?
Yeah, that would never happen. You're right, and I think that's how we got to Tpaalha. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So I have one suggestion. We'll go ahead and make a poll.
Tethys had suggested Demir.
Here we go. Okay. And I'm just going to put modern forms here.
And I like magpies. Where did the vowel go is the central question of all Tpaalha. So true. Oh, and Tethys also said, central. Oh, that is a big root. Klamiri. That's too big.
That's too big. Okay. Let's try Demir. I'll put that in. Okay. And I hope I can just write DMIR, right? It fixes it. Yeah, it does. Oh my gosh. Demir becomes just by itself Demir, which is just delightful. Now let's see what happens if we put it with...
really nothing. You just get the pool. Which is what happens in the chart as well. The PL just shows up.
Demir. Yeah. Oh my god.
No, let's get one that starts with a vowel to give people a chance at saying the result.
Yeah.
Nope. Trying to remember where I put. There we go.
Oh, this is going to be funny.
Ooh, how about something like... Okay. Just typing the PL in front of it to see what would happen in all these situations.
So essentially, it would end up with a geminate palatal nasal.
Right. And that's...
Blanye. So why don't you put a schwa in there?
In where? Ooh. Ira would end up becoming with the PL plur, so plurni. Where did you suggest putting the schwa?
Oh, never mind. It would end up with a geminate also. No, it's not. But Tethys. But like, it's fine because we do it the right way when we write it. It was just like, It's better for it to be really clear here so that we know. No, you still end up with a geminate. And what was the one you did? Plur?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, it came from Ira. Ira.
Let's just do PLIR, see what happens with that.
Udzi comes out as Uj. Uj.
That's not right. We would never devoice something after something that was voiced. That's not right.
Alright. It's just like Plujni. Peace, love, unity, and respect. I love it.
Here,
yes, thank you. TY, TY.
I'll put that in there. Plujni. Plujni.
I'm trying to revive. We had
yeah, if you do something like ATA, it kind of says, Platanye.
Did we have diphthongs? Oh my god, we hit owl.
Owlnye. Plowlnye.
It's awful.
Plowlnye.
It's so awful. It's awful. I can't fix it. What other? Whoop, which other? We got the ZSX. Plauzni.
Plowsnye. All right, I like it.
Goodness.
Here we go.
I'm so happy so many people love this language, David. I am. Every time I work in it, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
The opossum plays, and at the end, Plowsnye.
It's like in that moment in Larry Crown. I had David watch this movie that is, kind of like a big part of the storyline is about this community college teacher who has a speech class that she has to teach. And like the students are not very motivated for the most part, especially at the beginning of the semester, to be in this speech class. And so like one of their very first speeches, they have to give like a really short, minute-long, like, introduction to something. Just something to get them up and talking in front of the class. And this one guy, like, gets up and, like, does 5 seconds, and then he's like, done! And so, because she's not ringing the little bell to indicate the time has ended, he's like, ding, ding, applause! And now that just reminds me of that. Plauzni! Plauzni!
Man.
Oh, my goodness.
Despite all, though, they don't like the Plowsnye. The worst one is the winner at the moment. There's still some votes to be had. And that would be Pludmilny. It's easier if you don't think about it too much. It's just like, it's 3 syllables, and you know that there's kind of like an old thing going on, and then like some things going on. So you just go Pludmilny. Pludmilny. It's not that bad.
The river possums say pulmieltni. We're going to add pull, pulled, mie, ni. Pulled mietni. Magpie, that is a statement. That needs to be like on a pillow somewhere, little embroidery. Pulmiltni is a beautiful crime against language.
Plowsnye is really cute.
Plowsnye. It does. It looks like a total key smash. And like typesetting this manual for directions, people are going to be like, what? Oh, Tethys, the river possums. Yes, we're gonna do all sorts of things.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh, Tethys, river possum. We round our oohs. We round them so hard. We go ooh woo 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 when we
All the
sing.
vowels are rounded, even oo and oo.
I can do those much easier. So yes, yes. Oh my goodness. No, well, this was. No, you did say what should it be instead of which form do you like best. You always got to ask which form do you like best, and then we can always be like, well, that's nice.
Oh, I
Here's
see.
what we're going with.
No, that makes sense.
I got to teach David how to get his teacher questions on, where you're like, I'd like to hear what you think, until I find out what you think is not what I want to think. Wow.
Still waiting on.
We're just vibing here while we hope that more people vote to change the tide. And then please, Plausny.
It's like.
Oh my goodness. Exactly. Tpaalha. It goes by many names. Many gnomes. Gnomes. Oh my god. Every name will be a gnome. It'll be so cute. Oh my god. Is the tide shifting?
It is.
Come on, Plausny.
We're very close.
Auria says the possums originally spoke a language called Parakapa Nataka Taraka. Oh, just a second. Parakapa Nadaraka. But their mortal enemies, the rabbits, could pronounce it too easily, so then they created Tpaalha. Oh. Why, Tethys? Why? Oh, did David end the vote?
I wouldn't use a Y with 2 dots. I'd use an I with 2 dots. That's what I did for a language for Bright that had those vowels.
Did we beg enough? Did y'all come through?
It's tied.
Did I seem desperate enough? Yes, but if it's tied, we can either do a runoff or you and I can vote.
That's right. Shall we vote on if we're going to do a runoff or if we're going to allow us to vote?
Listen, I think we can make that top word a word in the language without it being barred. But we can make it something else. So that way it's in the language. And everyone will know it was there.
Tethys, you'll know what it is, though. There's no real reason to go to the Y. Here, this is the thing. We will make Pultmielchi. We'll make it something.
Yes.
Oh, come on, Tethys. You didn't even spell it right. We'll make it something. But I think our singer is going to be Plausny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, how's the actual root? I'll enter it.
It was
I-A-I-Z.
Yeah.
Did it have to be that?
No, I mean if you can get it some way else. I was just.
Wait a minute. Do we even allow 2 vowels? Do we allow 2 vowels in a proto?
I don't know.
I mean, the answer is no. We don't. You were the one who just said what the form of roots were to everybody. C, C, V, C.
I don't know, David. Where are our sound changes? Where'd they go? Here we go. We have diphthongs, though.
that result from singletons.
Yeah, but how did we get them? So where are they? Let's just like make that happen.
I don't think we have that diphthong.
I swear we had our words. Now I'm going to go through the protoforms.
Just type. Hold on a sec.
But also it could be 2 syllables. Just because it's 2 vowels in a row doesn't make it a bad form. It just means it would be 2 syllables.
The only time that we ever have this is with these prefixes and suffixes. And they're not diphthongs. It's when these 2 vowels come next to each other and we say what to do to resolve them.
So we don't have AU at all anywhere in the language?
No.
Well, never mind. I guess we're back to Pulmushmina. I really thought we had situations that created the diphthong ow. Like, I just so thought that that was in the language that when I saw it, I was like, perfect. And so, my bad.
Okay. I'm going to try to do something to
Nah, I mean,
rescue things.
I don't think you can. I think I just screwed up.
It's impossible. It's when they become long. Then it's an S.
Oh, I missed part of the chat. What is Sio Wajabara? Where'd that come from? Oh, here's where this came from. Okay, it doesn't matter. David's going to fix my mistake, or we're just going to go with the word that otherwise won.
So the only way to get Z at the end of the word is if there's a schwa that's dropped at the end. The only way to get a diphthong from a singleton is if the vowel is long. The only way to get a long vowel is if the word ends in a voiced consonant.
We could just get plaz. Plazni. Just take the ow out of it.
Yeah.
Because that'd be closer to applause anyway. Plazni.
I agree. All right. Then that is what we're going to do.
Okay. Shawabatsara. Oh, it's Kongwa. Shawabatsara. Probably saying that a little bit wrong, but still really cool sounding.
All right, so now we just need to figure out how to enter a verb in this language.
Painfully.
All right.
Because wasn't this the language that we had like 4 different charts depending on
Yeah.
what kind of verb it was?
sound changes were what made entering the verb difficult. The charts were what made using the verb difficult.
We don't have talk, say, speak. We have no verbs of communication until now with sing.
It's peculiar.
What were we doing this season, David?
Messing with sound changes. Oof.
Forgot about this one. Did you remember that our word for to heal, to cure is Advil?
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's not right. Oh. Interesting.
Right, Magpie? Oh, wait, we do have to hiss.
Just, okay.
That would be
What would hisser be?
pushni. Pushni.
No, plush.
Push.
Plushny.
Pushni. I'm trying my best, babe.
Plushny. Oh my god.
Don't oosh at me. I'm doing what I can.
Alright. Now for the S one.
Alright. So this is just going to be us to sing.
Yes.
Okay.
For this.
My word.
Oh.
Plasny.
How on earth does this work?
Okay. While you're figuring that out, I have an idea for the other word that shall not be used.
Okay. Yes.
The verb could mean like to swing, like a tool, to swing a tool.
Mm.
And then their word for warrior could be pomishni, whatever that came out as, pomishni. But they don't have any warriors, so it won't show up in the game. But it would be the word for warrior because they swing clubs.
I guess they don't even have them in the expansion. Of course, they do have a couple soldiers, but all right, yeah, that works. That'll be what they call the other ones.
Those
I like it.
yeah. I can't even say it.
Okay, now I just need to figure out what this last form is. I think it's that.
Oh wait, this is technically V final because the schwa.
Technically, but there are two other forms that have a final schwa that are verbs, and they behave a little differently. So. Where does this form come from where just the stress is at the end?
Oh, that comes from like there's like a final H that gets dropped, but it keeps
sounds.
the stress there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Then I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Um, to sing.
David forgot the G at first. It was to send.
Oh wait, I actually totally put the wrong thing. Oh wow. Oh wow. Um, we already have a verb that's just az. That means to huddle or to nestle. And so az is to sing, as is to huddle, but then their ulf forms are the same. Azulf.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but these forms are different because this has a vowel in it. Azuz.
Yeah.
But these are the same.
Oh, and what better thing to do when you're huddling together for warmth than to sing merry songs?
Wow.
Okay.
Incredible.
So now, David, now that you remember how to do verbs, do you want to do the mech verb and make this canon?
So it's Demir, right? Dmir.
Was that the one that won? Or was it the mech?
No.
Oh wait, no, it's the pull
Yeah, Demir.
DMIR. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
DMIR.
yes.
All right. All right. Yeah, when they end in a consonant, it's not as bad.
And its modern form is Demir.
Oh. Oops. There we go. Perfect. Oh. Oh dear. Oh God. There. This one.
Oh, for
Whew.
the final, what's happening there?
Oh, just look up the verb to exit. Just to show everybody what it looks like.
What?
Uh-huh.
Wow. So yeah, thank goodness you found another one, babe.
Yeah, I found another one. All right, so that's in the D's. Go ahead and add to the total already.
Wow. And I'm gonna go up here and see.
So that's
Make
D.
sure I have the right. DMYIELH. Dmich.
Mich. And that was a regular I, right? It wasn't a barred I. Please tell me it wasn't a barred I.
It's not in what I had.
Thank goodness. Okay, that would have been a nightmare. All right, and that is going to mean to swing. As in to swing a club.
Whew.
Ha! Nice carrots. Also funny, Jessie is seen like next to no Simpsons, but that was the Simpsons episode that had Lisa Kudrow.
Huh.
She was very funny in it. All right. Yes.
And then I'm actually going to enter
Yes. Okay, good.
warrior because we want to remember this because it's not going to otherwise be in the canon. Yeah, but I said to change forms. PLDMYIELHNYI. Is that correct?
Yep. It's pretty easy to say actually.
I'm so happy that David feels that way. he needed some joy today. And I'm glad that the warrior was able to do that for him. All right, David, we're in our last 20 minutes when we still have more stuff we need to do, which is, fine. But two, we should also be thinking ahead to poll. We've got a barred word, finally. We need 2 soldiers and 2 rogues and a tank. So 2 soldiers, 2 rogues, and a tank. In terms of what we wanted to vote on, I feel we have some options, especially for tank, because I feel like we could give options for a name that they come up with themselves for this tank, but also a word that they've borrowed from the mice that they've, of course, changed the pronunciation to fit into their own phonology. And so, I feel like we could have some fun with, not only what word do they borrow, but how is it pronounced once it's borrowed, and then also some native words as options for what they call the tank.
The mouse language is very difficult for them to pronounce. I mean, Wokuthishi, very strange. It would be much easier if it would be Ukfifi.
And that's exactly what they would say. Now, to do that, we would also need to potentially get a word for tank in Wokuthishi.
Yeah, so that's...
And I don't know that we have that.
I don't think we do either. So that would be very, very difficult. I don't think we could do that for
this poll.
No.
What if it was an open option to say, whatever word we end up taking? So anyway, that is something. And okay, so then other options are just to come up with options for these rogues and soldiers that we need.
Yeah. Oh, but we're thinking of poll, not ideas.
Both, because if you have ideas, it'd be great to have them down and or to get something started.
I was thinking that just the word for shadow is the word for the big one.
For the 5-star rogue?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be perfect.
And the little one could just be a diminutive. Or the shadow of the shadow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't have shadow.
I know.
Or shade.
It's really weird. The only place that shadow occurs is a note where we say in the shadow of is a postposition that means like or similar to.
Oh my god, and that would be perfect for a little shadow would be a shade shadow. That would actually be kind of cool to make that something. Okay, so I like that.
This is just lexical entries to make, right? Because I was thinking for a moment, did we just do that in a different language?
And we have some options right there if you like any of those forms.
Yeah. Can I have another copy one? The Werthers.
Oh, the word, yeah.
This is just a Werther's copy.
Shade comes from reading. So I'm going to show, sometimes we actually had other forms. I want to see if we have any. So yeah, this is the one place that shadow shows up in the document. We just did like a M sounding word, but I kind of like this mira. Mir. Fiet is kind of cute too. So if you like any of these, I do not like this for now. It's too much. these are all actual words.
Okay. So, there are a couple of things here. If we go with a noun for shadow, the postposition is probably going to have to be followed by ni.
Mm.
And it doesn't have to be ni, it can be ni, because if it's old enough, then it goes before
reduced.
the sound change. So there's that. If we do a verb, then the word shadow itself can be reduced to a preposition. In other words, if it was a verb that means to shade. But then the word for shadow would need to be derived from that. I kind of feel like maybe we should go with a noun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should go with a noun.
Okay. And so then when it comes to our postposition, which I think is a really cool idea, just bear in mind that it's going to end in ni.
Mm-hmm.
So it should, I think it's something that could be long if it's one syllable, but shorter if it's two. So I think it's something that should end in a voiced consonant, because that will give us a long vowel, which will shorten in the postposition. And the word for the shadow probably shouldn't be something that looks like shit or sounds like it.
I didn't know the F was going to change, okay? There we go. We'll take that out.
Miech is a very interesting word. I think that is a good candidate. So good that I'm actually going to
Oh my god. The L drops out entirely in this one and just becomes yes.
Oh, nice.
Trying to remember.
Huh. Tethys is pointing out that mir is 1D away from, demir, which is 1D away from demiech. Do you want to change what we did and change demir into a noun that means shadow?
Is that okay in terms of what we need to do for the postposition? Is that too heavy?
It would be dmirni. Which, if the preposition means like or as, that's not bad. And in fact, as a postposition, it could actually just shorten to mirni, in that the D is,
Okay. So take away the warrior and to swing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Don't do it yet. We'll replace that with something else. So
do you want to just change that to mech? Could be to swing, and then pull michni.
Yeah.
It didn't win the thing, but it was a good word.
I agree.
I don't know how much that messes up all the phonology you had figured out. But
Let's find out.
me. So that's me. Okay.
Oh my God.
What?
Let me. Okay. Go to Lexergy.
Okay, and one quick question though. We had decided whatever is word final stands.
Yeah.
And so this will be an H, not a H.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Lexergy.
Okay, go down. You have mech there.
Mm-hmm.
Go below mech and type that same thing, mech. And then type barred I, L, X. Go.
Because it gets palatalized.
Mich becomes inshish.
And the I is inserted because of the impronounceable in sh combo.
Yeah, because it violates the. Goodness gracious.
This language is insane. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, inshish.
That is something. Okay. Changed those, and now I got to remember what shadow was in the first place, or what the form was for shadow. Oh wait, I think there was a Y in there. D and Y. D and Y, I E, L H. Okay. My goodness. Yeah, Tethys, these possums are
Oh no.
very interesting in their patterns.
It
It did it again.
It did it again.
Everything was saved on your end, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we've got.
Getting there.
So those forms will have to change. Okay. I am going to put that in.
Okay, good. Got it. Got it. Okay, so that was correct. That was correct.
Pages just very suddenly quit on David, so he had to restart it on his computer.
All right. Good. That should be page. Oh, I'm sorry. M-E-K-H.
Is the Z just tossed on at the beginning of what
If it
will
starts
be.
with a D, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start updating this one.
Yeah.
Change that to a noun, and change this to shadow.
Yeah. Here, I'll do it. It's because it's
Okay.
going to be a little bit tough. By which I mean it will be pretty. Okay, these two are as they are, so it should be zdimir. That's fine. Zdimir. But then it's for the suffix, you just find another noun that ends in that consonant and see what it does. And yes, she.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And it goes to the R, so
Yeah.
the LH changes to the R.
Here.
Also, look at our word for crypt. I like how it's got the same ending as shadow.
Okay, Demirshi. Yes. Okay, crypt. Oh, nice. It does. Yeah. Perfect. Wow. Oh, that's really good. Okay, Demir is the shadow, and
which
now
is the 5-star rogue.
And then I think it's just an ni prefix for the diminutive. I will let you look that up.
Ni. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's just ni.
You want to try to put that in so it would be neat?
When you say put it in, you mean put it in the dictionary? I put it in the document as a name.
Yeah, put it in the dictionary. Wait, no, you're right. That's not something that should be in the dictionary, right?
Because it's just little shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh gosh, so now, excellent idea. So David's ideas gave us rogue, our 5-star and our 1-star, which is perfect.
Yeah, and that's not too much to expect, I think, of somebody. Is a bit much.
Too much. Okay, so here's what I'm going to suggest.
Yeah.
Is that we then come up with an idea for a poll for the soldier-related vocabulary, the 2-star and the 5-star soldiers. And then I think we should save tank until after we do Wokuthishu.
Yeah.
And decide maybe what word they may try to borrow. And if they end up not borrowing and doing a native word, we can revisit it after that. But I think it'll be easier once we have an idea in place. In our last minute, I do want to remind everyone that next Thursday is Thanksgiving. And so we will not be live next Thursday. Our hopes and our dreams are that we are both well enough to record a special episode for you to watch on Thursday.
Yeah.
Or thereafter, depending on, what your Thursday looks like. So that is our goal, but also I'm not going to say that is a set in stone thing because we need to give David time to recover before we travel for the holidays, and I don't want to push him or his body. And quite frankly, I'm shocked that he made it through a 2-hour stream today. So thank you to David for showing up all sick-like and being really a vital part of this stream experience. And yeah, we won't see you live next week no matter what happens. And so, and also hello, Kay. Much love. All right.
Thank you, Miles.
So there will be a poll. We're going to figure that out. thank you all for being here. And yes, happy gift thanksgiving or Thanksgiving or whatever you do. Happy 2 weeks. And we'll see you for Wokutishu Revisited on November 30th.
Bill's Jewelry.
Until then, stay grammar. Just a second. It paused out while I'm trying to get to this.
Oh, I can do it.
Well, now I'm here.